I'll never,
never let you go, Juanito.
wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby. Please be mine. I'll never,
never let you go, Juanito.
wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby. Please be mine, Juanito. Won't you please be mine? Wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby.
My Juanito.
Whoop, 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 woo. Wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby, 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 wah wah, shoop shoop, shadooby dooby.
I like that new title. My one Vito? What was it? My one Vito? My one Vito. Okay. Why don't we have a seat, everybody? Sit down. We'll meet the girls. That's a great way to kill a night and have a good time. But then if you want to do it a little more than that, then you take it to the next level, which is what you're doing right now.
Right.
And this all started in the parking lot when you fell down.
Started in the parking lot.
You fell down. Somebody picked you up, and you're in there.
Picked me up, and next thing I knew, I was singing. I mean, that's really the way it began. I never intended to be a singer on Vito Piccone's show. That's for
Well,
sure.
believe me, there's a lot further places you can go than this. I mean, this may not be utopia. I mean, this
We
is.
are having a ball. We get along so well. We meet once a week. We sing for 4 or 5 hours. We can't get enough of each other. We're having a ball, and we just, we couldn't think of a thing that we'd rather do. I think all 5 of us, even our new girls, we just love it.
I think on my farewell, Lisa, if I'm not mistaken, do you have any barbershop training? Was there any? Pat, I'm sorry.
I have.
Oh, I meant on my right, but
Where's Lisa? But you're okay.
okay.
Barbershop.
I mean, you know, not so much barbershop, but I'm talking about barbershop harmony, but with the girls' choir or anything like that.
Not in particular.
Really?
I myself have done a lot of theater, so that's really about it. This is my first a cappella experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's great. I mean, you have the perfect, not only the bass voice, I mean, but you're using the bass voice in the right context.
I hope so.
Yeah.
In this context.
That's why I asked if you had any, if you had, barbershop training.
No, not at all.
That's great.
Actually.
That's great. Because it's really not as it's not a straight out doo-wop type of a bass, and you are doing runs that are.
Yeah, it comes from a different
Yeah,
tradition, I
yeah.
suppose, because that's
great.
I've been doing other things up till now.
Yeah. Who's baritone?
That would be.
Girls don't use baritone.
Well,
What
they
we
do in a
call
way. It
it?
would be Vicky, I think. Yeah.
Got the
If
next
we're using
one?
it in that
If you're
sense.
using in that-
instead.
yeah.
No, Vicky would be
Yeah.
I
next,
don't know
yeah.
from baritone.
All right. Let me say it this way. Who would be singing above her?
There you go.
Most of the time, mine.
Okay.
Sometimes Biddy.
And then, well, I heard Lisa do tenor, so she's obviously the top voice. We'll use that. We'll use the layman's terms. Soprano. Okay. Right. And who was just beneath the soprano?
That would be Sam.
And obviously Sandy. And you.
Eh.
Yeah, parts.
I do the talking.
You do the talk.
I don't know.
But you do sing in between
I do
talking.
sing, I do some leads. We all do leads. We make sure that we all have
That's
some
great.
leads.
That's a
You
good
will
idea.
hear some more from us, and you'll hear some of the other leads.
Great.
But I'm kind of right there in the middle, whatever they call that alto, I think.
I actually, good point.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. An alto, a soprano.
Yeah.
What else makes up the 5? Let's see. All right, okay. I just wanted to say.
They know.
Obviously. Well, lead plus 4.
No. But the harmony was excellent. Harmony was
Thank
excellent.
you. Thank
Very, very good. And the feel for the music is good. Especially, again, for Lisa, who probably has only heard the records, as most of you have, but
Believe it or not, most of the girls have only heard the records.
that's what I'm saying.
And we sometimes just play the record once, and sometimes we'll just type out the lyrics, and the girls sing it once, and we've got it.
That's
We've
great.
just got it.
A lot of times you find somebody has an older brother or a sister or somebody that either bought the records, listens to CBS FM, And you get to not only know the music, you find yourself getting caught up and starting to like the music. So if you like it and you're listening to it, or if you're driving in the car, you now have a feel for this music.
Yeah.
But it's very, very hard when you find somebody, like I said, like Lisa, to actually say, hey, this is what I want to listen to. It has to somehow, it has to sneak in somehow, and that's amazing. Believe it or not, there's a big need for what you're doing in the 50s market right now. The shows that we do have become a little redundant. The acts that are on the bill because they had hit records 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So they can't change. I mean, we can't change who we are. We are who we are. We've sung these songs. This is what we recorded. This is what we are. The a cappella groups that have been coming out have all been, it's been a male domination. And it's redundant at this point. Sometimes you'll see somebody has brought in one girl. And you mentioned that before. You said, all girl, So this is actually fairly new. There are girls that are cover groups who specifically do only the girl group songs.
Right.
Like the Party Dolls are out in New Jersey. The Chiclets are out in Long Island. And I know I'm going to miss somebody, and they're going to be calling me up tomorrow. But all these groups have specifics, and they're keyed towards that particular area. This seems to be a little more unique. This seems to be a singing group that's ready to say, hey, we're going to do everything. We're going to do everything, and the fact that we're girls is something else. And I like that. That's really nice. It's a good approach. Where are you all from? Sandy, where are you from?
Originally,
Well,
Queens, New York.
From
And now I
Queens?
live in Jersey,
in Jersey.
Yeah,
All
Jersey.
right. What part of Jersey?
Manalapan area.
That's close. We have a lot of friends in Manalapan. A lot of people from Staten Island have moved to Manalapan. My bass player is from Manalapan. Mike Catalano lives in Manalapan. I have cousins in Manalapan. I have a lot of friends in the Manalapan area. And a lot of the Brooklyn hopscotches went from there to Staten Island to Manalapan, Marlboro, / And Lee?
From Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Woodbridge. You're the
Yes.
closest so far.
Yes.
All right, all right.
I come from Brooklyn.
Hey.
I'm originally
B, my name
from
is Betty.
Brooklyn.
B, my name is Betty, and I come from Brooklyn.
And I live now in Manalapan, along with your cousin and your bass.
Oh, okay. Give them my
Sandy
regards.
lives around the corner from me. Took
that's
me
great.
3 years to find
didn't know
her, and
she
she
was in the
lived right
neighborhood?
around the corner.
Wow.
That's right.
That's because in Jersey, you don't open your windows.
Yes.
You can't hear yourself sing. You can't check the tomato plants from the window. And you also from?
I was born in the Bronx, raised on Long Island, and I'm from Freehold, New Jersey now.
Oh, good. And you're from?
And I'm originally from Flushing, Queens.
Holy good.
And I live in Hopewell, New Jersey. I'm the furthest away. I'm down almost to Pennsylvania.
At Hopewell Junction?
No, that's somewhere else,
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think.
say that's a
But
different one.
I'm nearest to Princeton. Let's
Oh, okay.
locate
Really?
it there. Yeah,
Forest Gate.
near there.
I only know by the golf courses.
Exactly. Nice golf course in Hopewell.
Great. You're the only one that's actually born in New Jersey, and
Yes.
wow, I didn't know that until we started talking. There's all that New York influence.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you brought it all to New Jersey then. Very good. Oh, I'm even more proud now. All right. What do you see happening for the girls? Where do you see the group going? What's the intentions?
There's someone else.
Well,
Pat's good at that.
As far as the future, what you were saying before is actually very true. We, of course, under the guise of other personnel, another name, were performing last year and found out the very thing you were saying before, that we found ourselves very quickly in demand on these particular bills,
Sure.
in those shows, because we were something different and female, to put it as simply as possible. And we have, to know what's coming up, we're in a big show, right, Betty, in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Next month.
Yeah, that's going to be that's Harry Gross's show at
Sheepshead High School,
Bay
my
High
alma
School.
mater.
That's where you went to school?
That's where I went to school.
Sheepshead Bay High School.
Yeah.
It's a nice school. We've done a couple of shows at that school before. It's nice there. And who else went to that school? Reparata and the Delrons.
Reparata and the Delrons.
Reparata went to
I believe,
Sheepshead
yeah.
Bay High School. Very good.
Nobody else I know.
Yeah, there's quite a few groups on that show. I know the Excellents are going to be on the show, the Coney Island Baby. They're scheduled to come on the show. Lenny Coco and the Chimes are on that show. Lenny was here, well, he's done a couple of shows with us in the past. The Impalas on that show?
No.
Okay.
No, Kenny Vance, Kenny Vance
Kenny
and the
Vance and the
Planetones.
Planetones. There's a situation. Kenny's a very, very good friend of mine. Kenny did one of my shows. Prior to this, we had a show, the crew and I had a show called Island Hop. We ran probably about 100 and some odd shows, and just about had everybody that we could possibly imagine on that show. And Kenny was one of the guests that did me the favor and came out here. And Kenny has just come into something very, very good. I was invited to a private screening at the Chelsea Cinemas. He's got a movie based on his song called "Looking for an Echo," and Armand Asante is playing the lead role in this movie. And I've seen a lot. I told Kenny too. I've seen a lot of movies that came from that era, and they just they just missed the mark. The credibility was
They
not
focus
there.
on the wrong thing, too.
Absolutely, and it just was a shame. And some of the facts were not in order. Even American Hot Wax. In the movie American Hot Wax, which was one of the big doo-wop movies, Jay Leno is singing Little Star as he's driving Alan Freed's limo, and he's on his way to pick up Fran Drescher,
That's right.
who neither one at that time were that popular. And when he picks up Fran Drescher, he then heads for what's supposed to be the Brooklyn Fox or the Brooklyn Paramount. And Little Star was on the radio, and Jay Leno was singing the song, and they pull up in front of the theater, and there's this young group singing in the theater, outside the theater, hoping to be discovered, and it's supposed to be Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Now, I mean, if anybody knows the music, Little Star was not on the radio while Frankie Lyman was trying to, was auditioning someplace. I mean, he was out not only 4 years or three years before us, but he was the reason that we started. I mean, he inspired us to actually start singing as teenagers. So we had a long talk. Kenny and I had a talk about this. Kenny's going to come back on the show. He's going to be doing something else on our show very, very shortly. But excellent group. You're going to love them. I mean, they are really.
We've sung with them a couple of times. Yeah.
Sure.
Matter of fact, he became very friendly with Jay Leno from that movie, and he opens for Jay Leno. He's Jay Leno's opening act in a lot of places. But anyway, that's that. What are some of the other, aside from the songs that you'll do in a few minutes, I understand we're going to be doing some more, right? What are the favorite groups that you try to emulate, or the groups that you like?
Well, Betty knows all the group names so much better than I. Although I have to say, although we do really like and are seeking more sort of girl group things to do. Again, as you saw, as we did with Juanito, we're not adverse to
Changing.
just changing and doing what we
Changing
feel
names,
like,
right.
even if it started out with a guy group.
As you said before as well, and I grew up with two older brothers, so I have a lot of memories. I hooked to a lot of songs, that I'd like to eventually do.
Well, you could keep changing the names. I mean, you did like My Juanita is My Juanito.
Yes, and we do That's My Desire, and we change Sherry to Gary.
Oh, yeah.
We
When you do Lucille by Little Richard, you could change to Luigi.
I don't do Little Richard that well. We can dance.
But that's good. I mean, and again, staying away from that, that rubber stamp of girl group doing girl groups. I think that's probably going to wind up being your signature. Yeah, I think that's good. Do you go really deep into the oldies? Do you go into hop tones and?
Yeah, I was going to say, we try to stick in a few obscure songs for those people who are looking for obscure songs, and we haven't done too many yet. We have done harp tones. We do Sunday Kind of Love. Lisa does that. We do Forever, sung by Marvelettes, was it?
Yes.
Help me?
Yes.
Marvelettes?
Yes, yes.
Which is, we've never heard any group sing that, and it's terrific. Lisa does a lead on that. And, but so far, because we're kind of new and we're learning, we've done more of the traditional stuff that you hear a lot of. But we stick with things like Students, and now that we have Sandy, she's a great Frankie Lyman kind of person, and Darlene Love, so we're gonna do a little more of that sound.
We have a couple of other things that we're going to ask you, but I think what we really want to do is we want to get everybody to